This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. Armenia is actively considering submitting an application to join the European Union, Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has confirmed. Discussions are underway regarding the possibility of Armenia starting the process of becoming a member of the EU. Pashinyan's office quoted the Prime Minister as saying yesterday at a meeting with European Commission Vice President Margaritis Skinas in Yerevan. Pashinyan added, "This is not a simple issue, but it has become part of the Armenian political agenda, and so it is necessary to consider this issue in detail and comprehensively. There were no other details made immediately available. It would take years, if not decades, for Armenia to join the EU." To that end, Pashinyan pledged to continue working to strengthen ties with the EU and said deeper cooperation in recent years had already led to a number of noticeable changes in our relations, specifically name-checking the EU's move to deploy unarmed border monitors to Armenia last February, and the bloc's decision in July to give Armenia military aid for the first time. Skinas arrived in Armenia yesterday for the formal launch of visa liberalization talks. In a joint press release, Yerevan and Brussels noted that the process is merit-based, it will last as long as it is necessary, and there will be no automatic transition to visa-free travel. The process of lifting visa requirements for Armenian citizens looking to make short trips to Europe is expected to take years. The chair of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee has urged Azerbaijan to release the Armenians in its custody ahead of this year's Global Climate Summit, which will be held in November in Baku. Hosting a major international conference like COP29 should come with responsibilities and expectations. I urge President Ilham Aliyev to release those unjustly imprisoned by his government, including Armenian detainees, Senator Ben Cardin, a Maryland Democrat, said in a statement yesterday. As of now, Azerbaijan holds 8 former senior Nagorno-Karabakh officials, plus dozens of former Armenian soldiers and civilians. Many are facing lengthy prison terms on terrorism or war crimes charges. Over the past year, Azerbaijan has also detained a number of independent journalists, opposition politicians, and civil society members, most prominently economist Gubad Ibadoglu and peace activist Bahruz Samadov. There was no immediate response from Azerbaijan to Cardin's press release. A senior Azerbaijani diplomat has appeared to pour cold water on Pashinyan's novel proposal late last month to sign a partial normalization agreement. Pashinyan's offer cannot be considered acceptable and raises many questions about Armenia's true intentions, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Aykan Hajizada said in a press release yesterday. Continuing, Hajizada reiterated Azerbaijan's demands for Armenia to remove references to Nagorno-Karabakh from its constitution and ceded an extraterritorial corridor as preconditions for reaching a normalization deal. Those are seen as non-starters in Yerevan. Last month, Pashinyan revealed he had offered Baku to take the parts of a draft normalization agreement that both sides have already agreed on and sign them as a package, leaving outstanding disagreements to future negotiations. What exactly that would entail has not been made public. Despite Hajizada's comments, Pashinyan continued to insist today he was prepared to sign a normalization deal in the closest possible time frame. You can also check out the latest edition of Democracy Watch, CivilNet's joint initiative with the Yerevan-based Regional Center for Democracy and Security think tank, which explores the challenges facing Armenia on its path toward democratization. This week's digest breaks down Armenia's growing political polarization and the threat that poses to the country's democratic development. You can find the full write-up up now on our website at civilnet.am or through the link in the video description below. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 14. That's the total number of non-EU countries that have formal partnership agreements with Eurojust, the EU agency that fights serious cross-border and organized crime, now that Armenia has joined, with Parliament formally ratifying a cooperation agreement today. Armenia is now the second country in the region after Georgia to have a formalized working relationship with the Hague-based agency. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.